Now the writing question. Okay. Many individuals believe, okay, that various authorities around the world should regulate laws regarding nutrition and healthy habits, while some others, and some others is not required, others is enough. Think that,
Okay.
think that it is a personal decision where individuals should take their own choices. Okay, I agree with both these aforementioned views. Right? Aforementioned means which have been mentioned before.
Yeah.
Since governments need to watch the food industry more closely, and if and is coming, then comma is not required. As
Okay.
we need to be accountable for our personal decisions. So, when you have already said I agree, then you don't need to say in my opinion or according to my opinion.
Okay.
So the things are the same. To begin with, your legislative body should inform their citizens about various negative effects of unhealthy food. Okay, because people have access to a lot of junk food nowadays, which increases the probability of suffering more diseases, probability of, of them suffering from diseases such as diabetes and obesity in the long run actually. Then a connector, while causing a burden of economic resources for hospitals, while causing excessive burden, while leading to excessive burden on medical infrastructure. So that includes hospitals also, right?
Mm-hmm.
Infrastructure of different nations. Prevent this, the state, which state? The is specific. Which state? Rather, you can say regulatory bodies should introduce new taxes for those kinds of food, for adulterated food products. Okay.
Okay.
Mm, food products that do not include nutrients, vitamins, and oil healthy components and other healthy components that human body. Okay. Or human body, you can say the human body. It's okay. On
Okay.
the contrary, okay, nice. It is our responsibility to take care of our bodies for maintenance of health. Any government cannot together obligate the society, because the society is the society, to eat healthier meals and to buy just fruits and vegetables. Communities differ with their tastes, so it is very difficult for the authorities to decide what kind of food should be banned. So it is vital for people to prefer a balanced diet rich in minerals, vitamins, carbohydrates, etc., while avoiding the connector processed food. A clear example of this was seen during coronavirus induced lockdown in various parts of the globe. Okay. During this time, crowds mm, lockdown in various parts of the globe. Okay. Crowds, unfortunately, during this time, comma. So rather, you said a lot of people died. There were huge number of deaths were recorded. To make it
Okay.
better, huge number of deaths recorded as due to as people did not have were not well fed. No, not as people did not have a strong immunity. Right? As people or as humans, huge number of people did not have a good immunity as they were not able to have a balanced diet. Right? So this is enough. Disease treatment not required. They did not die due to the treatment. They died because their immunity was weak. No? And
Yeah.
you can say, and they could not, and they and their bodies were could not fight the virus, like the deadly COVID virus.
Okay. Yeah. That's what I meant.
Okay, so this example is very good. It's pretty nice. Okay. Try to bring the subsidization of agriculture. That's a very good point. Actually. First is subsidizing agriculture, and second is building sports communities. Bring them together. No, you can bring them together because these are both the decisions of governments.
Okay.
Building sports communities because in rich countries, you see countries such as Canada or European countries, the government is subsidizing. Governments of those countries, they are subsidizing the farmers. So the farmers don't use excessive pesticides. But in
Mhm.
poor countries, the governments are not subsidizing farmers. And poor countries of Asia, Africa, even South America, many farmers are dependent on rains. They are dependent on natural factors. So whenever there is some problem in the weather, right, and their crop suffers, they don't get enough money for all the hard work they have done. So, so in order to ensure that their crop doesn't suffer, they use excessive pesticides. So if they are subsidized, they won't do that because they would have a pure short way of income coming into their home. So they don't need to use excessive pesticides. That is very important.
Okay.
Subsidization of agriculture, especially in the poor countries.
I'm listening to you with some kind of echo.
Echo.
Yeah, I don't know if it's like no, like a background noise or echo. I don't know.
Where is going on? Okay. Yeah, now better.
Oh, better, much better.
So you understood, right? Basically,
Yeah.
building construction of sports amenities, gymnasiums. You can bring them together so that it doesn't become too big. And subsidization of agriculture, especially in poor countries, will also ensure that the common masses are able to lead a healthy lifestyle. Okay. So try to bring this point in it. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
I believe and citizens should work together in that. So the confusion is perfect today. Okay. If you don't write this point, no. This pesticides, you are not understanding the harmful consequences of pesticides. Excessive use of pesticides and fertilizers are creating many diseases in poor, many diseases among the citizens of poor countries. A lot of research has been done into this topic, that why high amount of pesticides are being used, high amount of fertilizers are being used, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So if the farmers get subsidies, they would rather try more organic farming, no? Okay, so that is important.
Mhm.
Okay. This example was good. COVID. Okay, so in the reading, there's one mistake.
Yeah, just one mistake.
Just one mistake. You didn't put the ink of the reading. No. Which one? It was the first one of academic reading test. First or
Let me. Do you have the link, or do you want me to send you?
if you send it in the email, it's fine. But I think that I have got it. Yeah,
Okay.
got it. White Horse of Huffington. Okay. So which one is wrong in it?
Number 10.
Number 10. Okay. What are they asking in number 10? Oh, first reference to White Horse appears in. Okay. Appears in where? Where did the first appearance come? What did you write?
I wrote Huffington.
Okay, you wrote Huffington. Huffington. White Horse appears in Huffington from the 1070s.
Yeah. But after I checked my answers, I checked again the paragraph, and yeah, the answer was documents. And yeah.
Different thing. I'm saying that Huffington, earliest evidence of a horse at Huffington is from the 1070s, you are saying. But grammatically, do you think Huffington is a good word here? Hmm? Do you think, according to the grammar, first reference to white horse appears in Huffington from the 1070s? Do you think, according to grammar, that is perfect?
Let me see here the question. In Huffington from, well, it might be because it's what in my understanding it is like a city, like a town. I don't know.
It is fine, but appears in Huffington or appears in some written document in Huffington? Do you think that a story appears inside a city or it appears inside a book written in the city?
Yeah, like a book writer. So it's documents. Yeah.
Documents are written. It's written in a notebook. Oh, right. So the story, the reference appears in the books or written in Huffington, and you have to write one word, right? There's only one word. So we cannot write that documents from Huffington, documents in Huffington. So either documents or Huffington. So the story is not written in the city. It's written in a notebook in a city that is found in the city. Documents find inside the city, right?
Yeah.
Documents found inside the city. That is why it's documents. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. You can see this document, right?
Yeah, documents.
No, I'm saying you can see the speak.
No, I am looking at the last document about diet.
No, I've opened the speaking. You can see it or not?
No.
No. Okay. Wait. Now you can see. Right. Now you can see.
Now I can see it. Okay. Yeah.
So now we are going to go through the second passage. Okay. So Wendy Murray reviews Ed Yong's book about microbes. So microbes, most of them bacteria, they have been on our planet even before animal life developed and even before humans came. Okay, right?
Okay.
Not written even before humans came, but it's understood because the big species were not there when bacteria was there. Okay. So bacteria you cannot see it from your naked eye, right? But they are everywhere. They are in the air, they are in the rocks, water, and they are present inside even human beings, inside seaweed. Okay. Even in our
What
body.
does
What
what
happened?
does the word ubiquitous
Ubiquitous
ubiquitous?
means it's everywhere.
Ah, okay.
Okay, so you mark it and you write it's everywhere. Microbes are everywhere, even inside
Okay.
human body. Okay, and this guy
Okay.
Yong, he has given a description regarding bacteria in his book. So every species has microbes. Okay, the colonies known as microbiome. These microbes vary vary between species and between different individuals, between bodies of every human being, every creature. Okay. So what is amazing that in human body there are in an average human beings there are 30 trillion microbes. Okay, and sometimes even 39. So Young has informed us that our 50% body is human and 50% is microbes, right? 50%
Mhm.
of our body contains microbes. Okay, you can mark these things. Hmm. Then each human, in every human, microbes stay inside the stomach, the mouth, or in your armpit. You know armpit?
No armpit.
This area,
Ah, okay.
inside your arms, right?
Oh, okay.
Hmm. So bad microbes are there's no actually the concept of good and bad microbes that is just a fantasy, right? So it's out of context. So microbes that are inside the human gut, right? Okay, so inside our body there are more microbes. If you there are more microbes than there are stars in the universe in the galaxy, right? So if these microbes actually go inside your blood stream, it can become very dangerous. And these microbes are also changing forms, right? The right hand shares one-sixth of its microbes with the left hand, and we are surrounded by microbes. Whenever we eat, again we take so many microbes with each gram of food, right? We swap our microbes with other humans. Okay, we swap our microbes with pets. Okay, so you can mark these things that we swap. We keep on
Mhm.
exchanging microbes with pets, with other humans. Okay. So it's a fascinating topic. Young, a young British scientist, right? He has explained, he has given more descriptions about this complex science. Okay. So Young is taking us deep inside the story of microbes, right? Because he wants us to love them as much as he does. Okay. For most of human history, we had no idea that microbes existed. The first man who saw this potent creature was a Dutch lens maker, and his name was Antony van Leeuwenhoek. It's an odd name. You can mark this name in the 1670s using microscopes. He used microscopes of his own design, and that magnified these microbes up to 270 times. Okay, so mark it 270 times. He examined a drop of water from a nearby pond, right? And he saw that there were many tiny creatures. He named them, right? You mark these things. What was the name that he gave? How many times his microscope saw them, right? When did he find out
Mhm.
about them? Okay, you can mark all of them. After 200 years, there came a French biologist, Louis Pasteur, right? He indicated that some microbes can cause diseases. So it was Pasteur's germ theory that gave bacteria the poor image that it has. Okay. So bacteria has a poor image because of Pasteur's germ theory. So mark this point. Okay. Then Young wrote a book, and Young's book said that you have to adjust with the microbes, right? And he said that there are even fewer than 100 species of bacteria that bring disease. So most of the bacteria do not bring any disease with them. Okay, there are some few species of bacteria that do bring disease, but thousands of bacteria are supporting you to maintain your fitness. Okay, so bacteria is important.
Mhm.
Okay? Thousands of bacteria are supporting us to maintain our fitness, but there are fewer than 100 species which can bring diseases. So his book, Young's book, accepts that our attitude towards bacteria is not very easy. We understand the dangers posed by bacteria, but we keep on drinking yogurts and drinks, okay, that contains nurture friendly bacteria. So Young is saying that bacteria are neither your friends nor your enemies. Okay, they don't have a positive character, they don't have a negative character. Okay, so mark these things. So we should understand we have a symbiotic relationship that can benefit us and them, and it can destroy us and them too, right? It can be destructive for both, or it can benefit both of us and the microbes. Okay, so we have a symbiotic relationship. You mark this thing. Okay, so what do these organisms do? The answer is pretty much they do everything. So new research is coming. Okay, new research is coming, that how the bacteria support you in digestion, how they support your immune systems, how they finish the toxins inside the body, how they produce vitamins, how they affect our behavior, how they fight obesity, combat obesity, fight obesity, right? So
Mhm.
Young says they support us to become who we are. But now there's a new issue. We are very obsessed with hygiene. We are overusing antibiotics. We are not getting proper diets. Our diets don't contain enough fiber, right? So due to this, the balance of bacteria is being disturbed in our body, and that is why we have more immune issues, right? We are suffering from bowel diseases, allergies. Okay, so this is something you can mark: overuse of antibiotics, right? Diets which are not rich in fiber, these are reading, because of this problems are happening. Okay, this can be one of your answers, so you mark it. The
Yeah.
most recent research, so there has been a recent research. So the norms, everything that we used to accept, they have been turned, right? New research has arrived. New research contradicts the accepted norms. Okay, so new studies are saying that excessive use of detergents inside the house, right, and products, antibacterial products, they destroy the microbes that keep the more dangerous germs at bay. So these excessive use of detergents, antibacterial products, they destroy those microbes that are good for the body and which keep dangerous germs at bay. Then other studies have arrived which show that keeping a dog as a pet gives kids exposure to a diverse range of bacteria. So when they grow up, they might be protected from allergies. Okay, because they come in contact with dogs, so they have exposure to a diverse range of bacteria. Okay, so this is also something you can mark. Hmm. So the readers who have read Young's book, they must be prepared for something that is not very fascinating, right? That is not very glamorous. Okay, so Young has done a study about a fungus that is wiping out frogs, right? So he has studied about a fungus that is wiping out frogs. And how it can be stopped? It can be stopped by a rare bacterium, rare microbial bacterium. Then he has again done a study on a squid, right? So you know, squid is a creature found in the seas. It has 7, 8 hands, right? And it has, what do you say? It has a torch. Its eyes are kind of a torch. It has one eye on its forehead. Okay, and it's radiate,
Okay.
yeah, and it radiates a lot of what do we say, a lot of energy. And in the sea, you can see it. It's a very small animal, right? It's a very small creature, and it has a
Okay.
luminescent bacteria. So it has a light on its head. So whenever someone attacks it, it starts flashing. So it helps it protect itself.
Oh, that's the one who is similar to an octopus.
Yeah, you can say that it's similar to an ostrich, but it's not so big. Right?
Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah,
So
I know.
yeah, so it uses that bacteria to protect itself against predators. Okay. Mm. Okay. So Yong, yeah. So if you don't have a distaste towards your investigations, you would understand Yong's enthusiasm, right? The void of the microbes is amazing, right? Hmm. Because in order to stop mosquitoes from spreading dengue fever, so dengue is a disease that infects a huge number of people, in nearly 400 million, you can see, in a year. So mosquitoes are being given a bacterium to stop this disease, right? Okay. So bacteria can support you against dengue because mosquitoes are being given bacteria to stop this disease. Bacteria is being infused inside the bodies of mosquitoes. Okay. When we
Mhm.
say mosquitoes are being loaded with a bacterium, we means bacteria is being infused inside the bodies of the microbes of
Yeah.
mosquitoes. So you can mark that we put bacteria inside their body, so that can stop the disease. Okay. So in the future, our capacity to manipulate microbes means we can even construct buildings which would have useful microbes already constructed inside them, inside onto their voice, right? And they would support you to fight infections. Okay. So just imagine a neonatal hospital ward, right, coated in a specially mixed cocktail of microbes. So babies would have the best start. Okay. In there. So you understood this one? All about microbes, right?
Yeah.
Got it? Hmm. Okay. I sent you some synonyms yesterday. You saw that?
Yeah.
Synonyms. So you can use them. Okay. So how to make wise decisions. Okay. Now you read the first paragraph. You read this first paragraph, and now you explain to me that what it means.
Okay, so across cultures, wisdom has been considered one of the most revered human qualities. Although the truly wise may seem few and far between, empirical research examining wisdom suggests that it is an exceptional trait possessed by a small handful of bearded philosophers after all. In fact, the latest studies suggest that most of us have the ability to make wise decisions given the right context.
Okay. So what does this paragraph want to say?
Um, Maybe some misconception of wisdom because we have always thought that wise people are those philosophers with long beard
So
and
misconception.
it is not.
Yeah. Misconception of wisdom, right? You can write a point that there's a misconception of wisdom. So
Okay.
everyone is wise, right? Every human being is wise.
Mm-hmm.
Even different creatures, if you see, they too are wise, right? But
Yeah.
it depends upon the context. So recent studies have suggested that everyone
Yeah.
has the capacity to make wise decisions, but depends upon context. Okay, context. So it's not something that is restricted to some scientists
Mm-hmm.
or some philosophers. Okay. So yes, this paragraph is fighting against misconception. Okay. And it's saying that some studies have suggested that wise decisions depend upon context and everyone is
Mm-hmm.
wise. Okay. Okay. Next paragraph.
Okay. It appears that experiential, situational, and cultural factors are even more powerful in shaping wisdom than previously imagined, says Associate Professor Igor Grossman of the University of Waterloo in Ontario, Canada. Recent empirical findings from cognitive, developmental, social, and personality psychology cumulative suggest that people's ability to reason wisely varies dramatically across experiential and situational contexts. Understanding the role of such contextual factors offers unique insights into understanding wisdom in daily life, as well as how it can be enhanced and taught.
Okay. So what does this paragraph want to say?
Well, that there's some other factors like experience, context, cultural development, social development, cognitive development that maybe could influence or maybe can make us, I don't know, like suggestive people,
Mhm.
and that affects our wisdom, maybe
Yes.
on how we can react to any circumstance, depending on those factors.
Yes. So different experiences, different situations, right? Okay. These shape your wisdom, any human being's wisdom, right? This is what as a
Yeah,
professor, your Igor Grossman says, right? That these factors are shaping our wisdom. Okay. And in the previous eras, we did not think in this manner, right? But now we have started thinking in this manner. There have been new findings, which shows that that these things affect your wisdom, right? Wisdom varies across different experiences, different situations, cognitive wisdom. Okay. So if we understand about these factors, about these contexts, we have new insights into understanding wisdom that we
mhm,
witness every day. And how wisdom can be enhanced. Enhanced means improved. Okay.
yeah.
And taught to others. Okay, so you understand this one, that there are so many factors, right? Recent findings say that there are so many factors. This professor Igor Grossman says that, talks about these factors. Okay. Now the next one.
It seems that it is not so much that some people simply possess wisdom and others lack it, but that our ability to reason wisely depends on a variety of external factors. It is impossible to characterize thought processes attributed to wisdom without considering the role of contextual factors, explains Grossman. In other words, wisdom is not solely an inner quality, but rather unfolds as a function of situations people happen to be in. Some situations are more likely to promote wisdom than others. Okay. In this paragraph, wisdom is mentioned, but not only as a unique attribute for each one.
Mhm.
It is maybe a quality that that we all have, but it depends on our social, on, I don't know, maybe external factors, or yeah, depending on other factors. So a person is not wisdom because he is, no.
Person is not
um
wise. No, a person is not wise. A person is not wise.
Wise,
Yeah.
yeah, sorry, a person is not wise just because of the fact of being wise, but there are some other external factors that influence that wisdom.
Hmm. Okay. So situation. So Grossman now describes, right? Describes that our wisdom depends upon various factors. Okay. Various contexts. Okay. So some situations, in some situations, every human being shows more wisdom, and in some situations, he or she doesn't show much wisdom, right? Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. So now that we define wisdom, right? So Grossman and his friends, they have identified four key characteristics that are very important for reasoning. One is your intellectual humility, recognizing that how much knowledge you have. Another is appreciating wider perspectives than the issue at hand. So you should try to understand other wider perspectives, right? You should be more creative, as I say. Okay. You should describe things more. So reading and writing, you see, both go hand in hand. One improves, the other also improves. You can take points from your reading section and write them in the writing section, because the sentences are very good, very creative. Okay. So you can take points from here. Okay. Social relations also matter. How they change, wisdom depends upon that also. Wisdom depends upon compromise, integrating different attitudes. Okay, these are important, you mark them. Then Grossman and his friends, they have found out, his co-workers have found out that in order to support wisdom in the decisions that we make every day, as far as wisdom regarding our everyday decisions matter, so we should see different scenarios from a third party perspective. First person, second person, I, you, remember in the grammar? In the same way,
Yeah.
the third person, right? He or she. So try to witness any scenario from a third party's perspective. Then you would see it from a wiser point of view. Suppose you are giving advice to a friend. Okay. So research is suggesting that a first person viewpoint, we just think about the easy features of the environment. But when we adopt a third person viewpoint, the third person viewpoint is the observer viewpoint. We observe things in a wider perspective. Okay. So this observer viewpoint is important. You mark this third person. So our reasoning improves, right? We think more, we describe more. Okay. We think more about your traits, your ideas, such as justice, impartiality. Okay. From first person perspective, we don't think about these things, but we think
Mhm.
about these justice, impartiality. Okay. When we go through a third person perspective. Okay. So our viewpoint becomes very expansive. Okay. So cognitive processes are the processes of the brain. Okay. They work faster. So the decisions are very wise when we see them from a third person perspective. So you can mark this. Okay. Okay. So suppose now there are some situations. Suppose there's a disagreement with a spouse, or we have to negotiate a contract at work. Okay. And that is very personal for us. So what do we do in such situations, right? So Grossman argues that want we are not we might not be able to change the situation, we might not change the situation, but even then we should try to understand these experiences from different perspectives: first person perspective, second person, third person. Okay. Hmm. So, in an experiment that happened during a recent economic recession, sorry, graduating seniors of an university, they were asked that what were their ideas regarding their job prospects. So the students were instructed to imagine their career as a distant observer, okay, and as a person who was present on the spot. See, either that they were experiment as an experiment, right? They were instructed to imagine their career that as a distant observer, or before your own eyes as if you were right there, that means as a first person. Okay. So
Mhm.
two options were given to them: third person distant observer and first person who was present there. So the participants who were in the distant observer category, they showed more wisdom, right? They understood the changes. They showed more wisdom. They were more intellectual in comparison to those participants who were in the control group, who were in the first person group. Okay, because these guys were observers, so their wisdom was more expansive, right? They took more viewpoints in question. But the ones who were in the first person group, they were checking everything from their own viewpoint, right?
Yeah.
They were not, they did not have an expansive wisdom. Okay, so this experiment was done on students, and the students were and this okay, so see, it's not written that the students knew about this experiment, right? That they were informed that they were part of the experiment. That is something not written. Okay, yeah. So
Mhm.
you get a question that whether the students knew about this, so you can say that it's kind of not given, right? Because they haven't said the students were part of an experiment. That is true, but they did not say that whether the students knew about this experiment or not. Okay. Okay. Then another study was done. So many spouses or couples, you can say, many partners in romantic relationships, they were instructed to think, right, that some conflict of relationships were going in front of their eyes. So they had to see it from their own perspective, again first person perspective, or through the eyes of an outsider, third person's perspective. Okay. So
Mhm.
participants discussed the incident with their partner for 10 minutes, then they wrote down their thoughts. Okay. So those partners, those couples who were in the other size condition, who were watching it from the third person's perspective, from the observer's perspective, right? They their reasoning was more wise, okay, in comparison, and they tried to search for a compromise. Okay, they tried to find out a compromise. In comparison to that, those partners who were in the egocentric condition, who were watching it from their own perspective, their reasoning was not very wise and they were not trying to find a compromise. So the observer tries to find a compromise. The observer has a better reasoning. Okay. The first person and the second person have an egocentric condition. Now, ego decentering, that if you decenter the ego, if you take away your ego, you can bring more focus on, right? And you can see the bigger picture. You would understand the experience in a much better way. Okay. And you would make better, wise decisions. This is what Grossman says. Okay. This is what Grossman says. Okay. That getting rid of the ego is very important. Ego decentering means you have to get rid of the ego. So you can write this. Ego decentering means getting rid of the ego. Help
Okay.
supports in promoting wisdom. Okay, right? And the
Okay.
first person is always in an egocentric condition. His or
Mhm.
her ego is very strong. Okay. So we might associate wisdom with intelligence or other traits, but again, research shows that a positive relationship between wise thinking, okay, there's only a small positive relationship between wise thinking and intelligence, right? And the personality traits of openness and agreeing to other things. Okay. So it's very odd, right? It's very amazing that how human beings can vary in their wisdom from one situation to the next, right? And how strong these effects are to understand different relationships between wise judgments and how they have an outcome, right? This is what Grossman has described. Okay. Mhm. So how does the person behave in a wise manner in a given situation? If we have to understand that, we have to understand that what kind of emotions that person is going through, right? Okay. So whether the person in a general sense is wise or not, that doesn't matter. Everything depends upon situations. Okay. So this is about wisdom. Okay. Situation. So you understood this? Not
Yeah.
that right. So this time I hope that you cross the seven band in reading. Okay. So the first section is
Okay.
there's only one mistake, and you understood, right? that you have to write documents inside a city, because whatever is written context, it's found inside documents. Okay.
Mhm.
Okay. And if
Yeah,
you write one word, so documents is the word. Okay.
yeah.
Okay. So now we are going to practice some speaking, right? Now that we have
Okay.
understood our reading enough.
So I will do passage 2 and 3, and I will send you. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay. And do you want to discuss a writing question before we move on to the reading?
Yeah.
No, I'm asking you. Or do you think it would be big pressure?
I am. I am. Actually I bought these drops. This is from, I don't know if you can read
What?
quizzes and tests.
Mm,
Flora. Yeah. And it is, I don't know, they're supposed to relax you and to get you more concentrated.
all these
I'm gonna try them.
these are just marketing theories. It's much better that you exercise, eat a healthy diet, try to be happy. That is enough
Yeah,
for all these
I
tablets.
agree. I agree.
Don't need all these things. These are just marketing gimmicks. Okay. Why
Yeah, I
give
was I was wondering because I want your opinion on this, my dear teacher. I need to take my exam as soon as possible because I have to send the documents to the university. So I was wondering if I don't know what you think. Do you think I might be ready, let's say, for October 23?
October 20? Or today, what's the date?
Today is 20,
Today.
so it's in a month.
In a month, actually, the writing I was thinking it might take some time. Okay, the reading, listening, speaking would be done easy, but writing. So what's the? I mean, you need to try for the university from October, or you can try in November too. You have an option of November or October is the ending.
Yeah, well, my counselor told me that mm, fine or last week of October or first week of November would be the best
So
because of
first week of
the places and the university.
first week of November, I think would be more practical because the writing might need a bit of work, right?
Yeah,
Write a bit more, be more descriptive. The reading you would definitely make it because you are anyway at 28, 29. You would understand and you can push it. The listening is going good. We have to push more. Speaking is also good, but actually most of the candidates suffer in the writing section because for a non-native speaker, speaking for 14 minutes is easier than writing everything from his own point of view, because in the first section you have support, in the second section
yeah,
support, you have to bring
yeah,
ideas, you have to do so much research. In the reading you get support from the paragraph, right? In the hearing section you can hear the audio, but in the
hmm,
second section of the writing there's no support for 40 minutes.
yeah,
So those 40 minutes would determine that how good you are.
yeah,
So that is why I focus on this point, that be more descriptive, be more creative. Okay.
hmm, okay.
So I think that
So
first week of November would be practical, and that is okay. No, that's not an issue. That if you do in the first week of November, that's fine.
yeah, I guess it is because of the places and the program.
Hmm. First week of
So because I
November.
have to send the documents, I have to
Yeah, no,
review documents, and
I
they,
understand. I understand your point, but I think first week of November would be more practical unless and until you can become you can write like Shakespeare very fast.
I hope so.
Right? But if you can write like Shakespeare very fast, then last week of October is better. Otherwise, I think first week of November is more practical because we get a bit more time to practice
Okay.
more on the writings, because there are various topics, right? Now we have written only one or two topics. There are topics on robots, There are topics on cosmetic surgery. There are topics on crime. I send you a lot of samples. No, if you go
Yeah.
through, if you see them, the topics are very diverse. So how you
Mm-hmm.
counter every topic, how much research you can do, and you have to feed this information inside your brain, because the brain is a computer. Because in the exam you won't have the support of Wikipedia to research. No,
Yeah.
so
Right.
everything has to be here.
Yeah.
That is why
You're
research,
right.
reading the news, bringing current events is very important, right?
Okay. So I will book the exam, I guess, on November 6th.
November is much better, right? November is practical. By November, everything can be done easily. Okay.
Okay.
Mm,
Yeah.
okay.
Yeah. Saturday, November 6th, I guess. Yeah.
Okay. So let's discuss one writing topic and then we can move on to speaking. Okay. Because
Okay.
some writing should be done every day, I think. Otherwise, it might cause an issue.
Yeah. My nemesis.
It's not your nemesis. It's I won't say it's your nemesis. You just need to be a bit more creative. That's the only thing I'm saying.
Yeah.
Right? Because your grammar is not such a huge issue, which is good because mostly non-native speakers has a issue with grammar, and that they suffer in the grammar section, but you don't suffer in that section. So that is a positive issue. But you have to be more creative, a bit more descriptive. Okay, you are trying to finish the essay pretty soon. Okay, examples you are giving, so that is good. In the scientific essay also, no, I told you, no, in the second part you have to give the example, you remember, theoretically.
Yeah.
Okay, so that is important. Just be a bit more creative. Okay,
Yeah.
target every point. Writing is not such a huge issue. Okay, the one thing about this exam always happens that there's not enough time, right?
Yeah.
But anyway, it's
Time is too short.
we have to finish everything pretty soon, right? In comparison to our university exams when we had 1 year, right?
Yeah.
So I usually ask non-native speakers. That is why I give them at least 2 months time. That this much should be enough, right?
Yeah.
Okay, so this is part one. Let us do part two. Part two is the bigger problem. Okay, so this sample you have. Wait. Hmm. So this sample you have, right, around the world. You can see this question.
Yep.
So I'm giving you this question. Kids learn English as a second language at school. Okay.
Mm-hmm.
Give you on WhatsApp, see, right? So this
Yeah.
kids learn English as a second language at school. However, in some areas they learn it at kindergarten, right?
Mm-hmm.
To discuss the advantages and disadvantages of learning this language at kindergarten. Okay.
Okay.
Okay. So you make your points, right? Take 2 3 minutes. Let's see what you get. And this is part of your samples. Okay. What is the name of this essay? It is your essay and report 8. Okay, I'm writing it
8.
for you. I'm writing it for you. Essay and report 8. You will get it. Okay. So you make your points. Okay.
Okay.
Discuss and then we would move onwards to the speaking section. You need 7 in each section, or in one section if it's 6.5, that's okay.
6.5
In every section.
in every section. Yeah.
Okay. But still, I think we should always give it our best because you don't know, scenarios change, right? So no one knew that COVID would come. and suddenly it came and disrupted everything. So you don't know that
Yeah.
after the Canadian elections, the what would be the if the new government brings something different. No, we don't know.
Mm-hmm.
It's always better to prepare for the best, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
You
You're
make
right.
points.
Yeah.
Make your points.
Mm-hmm.
Take 3 minutes. Make your points. Then we will discuss.
Okay.
Done. You're done.
Yeah, I guess.
Okay. Very fast.
Well,
Okay. So what are your views?
um, well, I think English is one of the most dominant languages around the world.
Mm-hmm.
So, since this is a universal language,
Yeah.
it is important to children to learn this language. For example, well, if you teach a child since he's little one and he develops this complete group of skills in English, like reading, speaking, writing, all the all the competences are going to be really valuable for this kid as an adult.
Mm-hmm.
In which way? For example, to get a job and to go and study, for example, on world power countries.
Mm-hmm.
Because in those countries, well, I think English is the universal language for them. So it is important.
Which countries?
Rich countries.
The European countries, in them, English is not the universal language apart from Britain.
Okay. For I don't know, how do you say, it is okay if I say
English is
power, world power?
one of the most dominant languages, right? One of the most dominant.
Yeah. Okay. Disadvantages. I don't know. I don't see any disadvantage for me. Well, to me, English is really important
Okay.
to learn.
Okay. See, if you don't see disadvantage, it's okay. You don't write about that. Okay, because the question is asking you that whether there are advantages or whether there are disadvantages. So it's your view. You can just keep talking about the
Okay.
advantages. Okay. Undoubtedly. Just start the question with undoubtedly. This is not a very good way. Rather, start with the dawn of the 21st century. Okay.
Okay.
I give it to you on WhatsApp. Okay. Right. Start in a better way, in a more creative way. Right. With the dawn of the 21st century, English is considered as one of the most dominant, one of the most widely spoken languages across the globe. So, in most of your poor countries, kids are learning English as a secondary language, along with their own native languages, right? Regional languages. Okay. Because you can say that there were many nations which were actually colonies of the British Empire, right? So these kinds of points are important. See, there was a British Empire, there was a French Empire, there was a Spanish Empire. Okay, the Spanish Empire was occupying your South America. French were occupying most of Africa, and the British were had conquered most of Asia.
Okay.
Yeah. And then you can say that Japan came, Japan also conquered some parts. Germany came, Germany and Italy, they started attacking the British in your Africa. So that is why all this Second World War broke out, no? First and Second World War. Because they wanted to take away those possessions from them. Okay. So for a long time, many countries, nations, especially in Asia, you can say, were former colonies of the British Empire. And the population of Asia is too much. It's not only about the countries, no, it's about the population also. Asia has a huge population. So these Asians, they have gone permeated throughout the world and they have also spread the English language. So sometimes it doesn't matter that how big an area you have. It matters how many people are under you.
Yeah.
Okay, so the writer here has said that this trend has both merits and demerits, but it is your view. Okay, you can always start with this, with the dawn of the 21st century. You can always say that I believe there are right only advantages, okay. And there are no demerits. You can say that. Also, now the body paragraphs. On the one hand, there are few pros associated with this notion. Kids can learn this language in a cool atmosphere, playful atmosphere in kindergarten, right? They would gain more information about new communication skills at a fast pace that would support them as they grow up, right? They would become
Yeah.
confident once they have command over this language. They would communicate with each other in a very easy way, right? So many developing countries, as an example, they have actually taken initiatives to teach English to their citizens from a young age, and you can name China in this context. China and Vietnam are trying too much nowadays. You know, have examples of China and Vietnam. In Asia nowadays, they are learning too much. Even in South American countries, I think that they are teaching a lot of English to kids from a very young age nowadays.
Yeah.
You have examples of China, Vietnam. Right? You can talk about your country also, right? Where kids are being taught English from a young age for diverse opportunities, right? They already know their own languages. Now something new for them, right? Being taught English from a young age to uh, improve their hold on that language, which will be helpful in their career in the long run, right? Because the more languages you know, the better chances of employment you have, right?
Yeah.
So this example you can give. They are hiring English teachers and they are giving them huge bucks, especially Vietnam. Vietnam is doing more than even China. It's just a small country. So in addition to this, don't write just in addition. Learning this language is very important when you are going overseas. When kids learn English, it helps them to be more proficient. Grab any career opportunity. You can talk about. Okay, the question is only about English. Sorry. Hmm. Any career opportunity that comes across in their eyes. You can talk about your Canadian immigration as an example. Yeah,
Yeah.
there are so many English tests. I will write it for you. Right. There are
Mhm.
so many English tests. There is your IELTS is there. Your TOEFL is there for admission in American universities. Right. Important English tests. Important English competitive exams. Important competitive exams in the English language. Right. Formal writing always more descriptive, not casual writing. Okay. Important competitive examinations in the English language, such as IELTS, TOEFL, right? CIPIP is there in Canada,
Mhm.
right? PTE is there. Then there is OET for nurses, right? Okay, these are very important. SAT is there. I don't know SAT. They require good hold, good knowledge. So many important competitive exams are there, right? For that, in order to give these exams, you need to improve your English language standards. Everyone needs. So don't say you and I and we. Just say that individuals need to improve, right?
Yeah.
Use kind of words. Individuals need to improve the skills in this language. Various skills related to your reading, writing, listening. That in that way you can say. So that is an example that I'm giving you. Okay. Hmm. So it's beneficial when you travel to different parts of. So it's important for immigration, right? Canadian immigration, Australian
Yeah.
immigration, immigrating anywhere, UK, Ireland, okay, Canadian immigration, Australian immigration, immigration to the first world country, immigration in USA, immigration and studies in USA, New Zealand, okay,
Mhm.
Ireland. Okay. So for your immigration experience, you can bring here. Okay. So people travel abroad every year. They mix with natives of many nations, learn about their culture. Therefore, the role of English language is vast across the globe. You can
Yeah.
understand different cultures, the Canadian, the United States, the UK, right? The customs and traditions there. On the other hand, there are few cons. It is not necessary that teachers in kindergarten may be great speakers of this language. As a matter of fact, various governments need to spend fee. These are the writers' views, okay, on funding these educational institutes, right, which might be very expensive and they might need more time to recruit top-notch tutors, right? So, a straight kindergarten teachers usually give knowledge and skills such as painting, social values, dance, regional language, basics of English, right? And it's not important that every kid might be very good in learning this English. It takes time for a kid to develop the skill, right? It depends upon different kids. No, everyone has their own
Yeah.
capabilities. Everyone doesn't work hard enough. So a kid might even get confused if there are so many languages are concerned. Okay. But this is the view of the writer. So she has said to recapitulate, even though there may be some disadvantages of learning English at a young age, yet I perceive learning it could prove to be advantageous as it would help kids in developing competitive skills in this fast-paced world, right? So you can
Yeah.
remove the disadvantages and you can keep on talking about the advantages. You give 2 paragraphs to the advantages section. That is okay. Okay.
Okay.
2 paragraphs. You have examples of so many competitive exams for jobs in the first world countries, right? Okay.
Okay.
You can definitely write better. And this is a question that is related to your immigration also. So you can
Hmm.
give me examples, okay? Research on this
Yeah.
and write in a very good manner. Okay. Now let us do some speaking. Okay. Hmm. So part one. So yeah, give me an introduction.
Okay, well, my name is Karen. 40 years old. I live in Bogota, Colombia. Colombia is located in South America. Bogota is the capital city. Bogota is a very beautiful city, but it is chaotic. Traffic is terrible. Traffic is insufferable, really. Mm, but it is a nice country to live. Um, what what else can I tell about me? Well, I'm a systems engineer. I chose to study computer science because I liked it, so I prepared to do that. Mostly of the time, I watch movies, I watch series on streaming platforms like Netflix, Amazon, HBO. I don't like reading or watching news. I don't like it because all news most of the time are bad news. Well, this is our world, unfortunately.
Okay. Hmm. Okay, so yeah, and what about your family? Can you describe about them?
Yeah, I live with my husband, my 11 years old son. I have been married for 12 years, 12 happy years. And well, my son is really, it is like my precious, is the most beautiful and the most appreciated blessing that God gave to me. We live in a condo. My husband is a systems engineer as well as me. We knew each other on a small company that we used to work together, and we started dating there. After a while, we got married, and Gabriel is my son's name. He he arrived to our lives.
Okay. You didn't say anything about your parents. Okay.
Okay, okay. Well, my mom, her name is Ingrid. My mom he is a widow. My father died like 20 years ago. Um, he he well, most of the time he lives here at home with us, and when she is not with us, she is at the US because she has two two children, and she's like their godmother, so she loves them very much, and many times on the year she goes to the US to visit them.
Okay. Okay. Describe your profession.
Okay, my profession, I'm a systems engineer, and I am really proud to be, and now more than ever, because this is a career that
So I am
is really,
I'm very proud. I am very proud of my job. Okay.
I'm very proud of my job. Okay, I'm very proud of my job. But now I am I got another job. It doesn't have to do with systems or computer science or anything of that. But it is I want to be an entrepreneur. So I'm working with a friend in children's emotional intelligence. So I, I do partially of my time jobs as a systems engineer, and the other time I work on this new project that we have.
Okay. Are you fond of your job, and do you think it's very interesting?
Yes, my job is really interesting. Um, well, if we see all the situation that our kids um, live today, it is an interesting job because you're like a kind of a support for them if you get to know them very well. So it is really interesting when you talk to a kid and he has so many things on his head, on even in his heart, that emotionally is hurting him. So when you talk to them and you can help them and you can say them that as kids they are really important for the whole world, for their parents, for their friends, and you can kind of cheer them up.
Okay.
It's really cute. It's really beautiful because kids are really grateful.
Kids are very well. Okay. Do you miss your time of being a student?
Um, that's a tricky question because I was a formal student a long years ago, and now, for example, that I am studying for the IELTS exam, it has been really hard to me because you know, you have to attend classes or sessions, you have to do assignments, you have to read a lot, you have to write a lot, you have to study, in fact, a lot. And many of the time seems to get shorter and shorter and shorter. But this has been a really good journey because I have learned a lot. In my case, for example, I thought that I was, I don't know, that I had maybe a intermediate level on English. That's what I thought. That's what I used to think. But now, with this old study that I'm doing, um, it is not. I mean, I have realized that um, there are a lot of things that you have to study, and this is, like I said before, a really hard journey. But it is okay because, well, I guess it is just how do you say question?
You
It is
have to
just the
stop,
fact of
stop in
to
between,
adapt to
adapt to this changing scenario.
yeah.
Scenario. So you don't have to stop in between because it is recorded. Okay, and they would see that the person is short of ideas. She's thinking, right? They want
Okay.
fluency in speaking. Okay, more
Okay.
spontaneous. So once you have started, don't stop. And in
Okay.
part one and part three, it's extempore. You have to start on the spot. In part two, you get a minute to think and make points.
Mm-hmm.
In part 2, you have to speak more for consistent 2 minutes. Okay.
Okay.
They would not
Okay.
permit you to take a watch or a phone inside. So you won't be able to guess that whether 2 minutes have completed or not. So whatever answer
Mhm.
you are giving, keep on talking unless and until the examiner stops you. He or she would stop you on his own, his or her own.
Okay.
Okay. Because you don't have a
Okay.
watch. So if it is 1 minute and 55 seconds or even 58 seconds, right? They would
Mm-hmm.
record it and then two or three people would check and technically they would say this person did not speak for 2 minutes. Right?
Okay.
Keep on talking unless he or she stops you. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Okay. Let us do some part 2 question. Right. Okay. Let us do part 2. Part 2 is describe your favorite singer. Okay. You have 3 hints. How do you know this singer? Describe his characteristics, his or her, right? What that person is like. And do you think he or she is good enough?
Okay.
Okay, so you have a minute to think. Your time starts now. You can make your points.
Well, I have no a favorite singer,
Then make one.
but but
You don't want
I
to. You don't
am
want to take.
but there's a singer, yeah, but there's a singer that I am really proud of, and
Just a second. Just a second.
she's
No, I'm saying that. Don't you want to make points for a minute? Do you want to make or not?
oh, okay. Do
You
I
have.
have time to make
Yeah.
notes?
So that is what I said.
Oh,
You
okay.
have a minute to think. You have a minute to think, and after a minute, you can start speaking. You
Okay. Okay. Okay.
have to
So let
speak
me do
for
these notes.
yeah, you have to speak for 2 minutes. Okay, so you
Yeah.
make these notes. Okay, time up. Time up. Time up. Time up.
Okay.
Yeah, start.
Well, I have no a favorite singer, but there is one singer that I am really proud of, and her name is Shakira.
Hmm.
Shakira is
I'm
a
not.
Colombian.
I'm not very fond of any specific singer. Okay, I'm
Okay.
not very fond of any specific singer.
Okay. I'm not very fan of, uh,
Very fond of. Very fond of
very fan of
any
any
specific.
specific,
Yes, any specific singer.
singer. But there's one singer that I am proud of, and her name is Shakira. Shakira is a Colombian singer. She's a yeah, pop singer. She had won many Grammy awards. And I really like her because not only because of her music, I mean her songs are really
Is my
beautiful. I
favorite, or
really
you can say that I am fond of her, right? I'm fond of her
okay,
songs. Or okay.
okay. Her songs are really emotional. Are not like some other type of music that to me, I'm sorry to say it, but it's trash music. So I guess her songs are really emotional and talks about your personal. life. I listened to her since I was a kid because she started when she was really young. And what I like the most of her is that she is running a foundation for children, and she helps a lot of children here in Colombia, mostly in Barranquilla, that is her birth city. And
That is her native city. That is the
native
city
city.
of her birth.
Okay, that is her native city. And most children that are in a vulnerability situation. So she has schools, she has public, no, private, I'm sorry, private entities for health. And she has some dinner rooms, and she helps a lot of children and a lot of families here in Colombia. So I think that beyond her music, I really like her as a person.
Okay, good. So she's presenting amazing examples for the society, right? She is working for the downtrodden. Okay, she's working for poor kids. She's doing
Mm-hmm.
a good amount of charity, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay,
Okay.
these things you can say. Okay, part three. Do you think that singers are very important for your country?
Well, here in my country are a lot of singers, many kinds of singers for all type of music.
Different
So
genres of music. Different
different
genres of music.
genres of music,
Genres. Okay. Genres. Genres of music. In writing also you
genres.
I would give it to you in writing. Okay.
Okay.
So that you don't get confused. In WhatsApp I'm giving you. Because it might be a new word,
Mm-hmm.
right? Different genres, different forms of music.
Ah,
Okay.
okay. Different genres of music. Okay. And well, here in Colombia, there are all kinds and different tastes on music. But the most important, I think, is that if the music is carrying some message that is showing kindness, or I don't know, maybe a social message, it is good for the country. So yeah, it is important for my country to, how do you say, to have
Okay.
singers.
So music is used in various ceremonies, weddings, no, birthdays, anniversaries, right? During that,
Yeah.
music
Well, when
is used. Right?
people get to celebrate,
Hmm.
yeah, there's always music. So it is important.
So they are an important part of our customs, our traditions, right? There are
Okay.
different forms of music, genres of music in my country. Okay. Okay. Do you think that musicians have good income, earn enough money? Do you think that?
Most of them, yes, I think, especially um, singers of reggaeton. I don't know if you know reggaeton, but nowadays, oh my God, it's a genre of music that is really filling the pockets of singers. I don't like reggaeton, in my personal opinion. It's horrible music. I'm sorry, but I don't like it. But yeah, I think most of the singers got well income.
Hmm. Okay. So give some examples. Take some big names.
Shakira is one of them.
Okay. And Britney
I don't
Spears.
know, pop groups, rock groups, for example. I don't know, Aerosmith, Coldplay, um, even classical composers like Hans Zimmer, because he has composed many soundtracks for movies. So yes.
Okay. Okay. So we can also say that singers, yes, they earn enough money, but they sacrifice their privacy too, right? For us,
Okay.
and they
Yeah.
are contributing to the society. Okay. Hmm. Okay. So in your country, traditional music is more famous or modern music is more famous?
Could you repeat the question, please?
Which genre of music is very famous in your country? The music that is more connected with your traditions or modern music?
Well, Colombia is a country of different cultures,
Mm.
because it is divided on many regions. Any region has
So there are
its unique.
there are different customs, different traditions in my country, right?
Mhm.
Okay, because
Yeah.
there are various sorts of citizens present here. Okay.
Okay.
Mm.
So this is a very folkloric country. So you can find genders like reggaeton, salsa, um, rock, pop, vallenato, cumbia. Cumbia is one of the most representative um, genres of music here in Colombia, and it is a very typical music for our traditions.
Okay. Different kinds of music, right? So in part two, part three, try to give examples always. Okay, so that you have better
Okay.
ideas. Okay, so we should finish today, or you want to continue?
I think we have already say
We have done too much.
we have done too much.
Okay,
No, but
so
it is okay.
what is the news for today?
News for today. Okay, so I read about some science, space science.
Space science.
Yes, and I read about a group of tourists that they were at space, and they were like making some kind of trip with Elon Musk company,
So those
because he wants.
were from which country, or were they from many countries?
No, they were from rich countries. I mean, one of these tourists. Let me look for his name.
Okay, name.
Is Jared is Isakman?
Name is not so important because he might be a common man, so people don't know him.
Okay.
Name is
So
not.
well, he is one of the most billionaires in in the world. So he wanted to pay his travel to space, and the stories were like for 3 days, or how do you say orbitando, orbiting, or
Orbit the orbited the Earth, or orbited which planet did they orbit?
the Earth.
Okay, okay.
Yeah. So
Hmm.
they were orbited the Earth, and now they're here. And this is, well, the news was telling that this trip was going to raise some funding or for a children hospital for research.
Okay, okay. So apart from space science,
Apart from space science, no, nothing more.
nothing more.
Nothing more.
Finance, stock market.
Well, finance, but not from global markets, but from local markets on my country. For example, Colombian pesos is so devaluated because all the economic recession that we had because of the coronavirus disease and the lockdown. And well, economy is terrible here in Colombia, but public entities are trying to raise the economy back. That, for example, Colombian pesos in comparative with American dollar is really devalued.
Yeah, yeah. So you can say that our pesos are suffering, right? The value is
Yeah.
not enough in comparison to USD, right? US dollar.
Okay.
Okay. Okay. And what's happening in, what do we say? What's happening to the environment and biodiversity?
Environment.
Yeah, environment, biodiversity.
No, I don't know. I'm sorry.
There are so many weather changes, so many forest fires happening everywhere. In Europe, in Turkey,
Okay.
in Greece, no, the excessive rains are happening. The earth is
Mhm.
warming up, right? Your
Yeah.
ozone is suffering, right? The ozone layer
Yeah.
is suffering. Too much of carbon dioxide is being emitted into the air due to deforestation. Okay.
Mhm.
Read about these
Okay.
topics because these are a part of your essays also. Okay.
Okay.
What's happening in sports?
Uh, I don't like sports, but if I had to speak about sports, I don't know. I'm only aware that Lionel Messi, and I don't know if this is an ancient or an old news, but for example, Lionel Messi left the Barcelona club. He moved to the
PSG.
yeah PSG. Yeah.
This is not a recent news, but anyway. And your Cristiano Ronaldo returned to Manchester United. Okay.
Okay. Oh my God, I
Mm.
have to learn about football, and
Messi.
I don't like football.
Messi is your neighbor, no? Argentina. Messi
Yeah,
is your neighbor? Yeah.
yeah, yeah. He's from Argentina.
Yeah. So how far is Argentina from your country? I think
It's
there's a
like,
border. There's a direct border.
well, I'm not sure about distance, but if you take a plane, I guess it's like 7 or 8 hours.
Okay. So it's pretty near.
Yeah, yeah, it is.
Okay. And what's happening in the arts segment?
Art. No, I don't know. I don't
Crime,
know.
crime, crime and society.
Okay.
No.
Crime. Well, if you want me to talk about crimes,
Hmm.
well, Colombia is the number one, I must say. Unfortunately, Colombia is not a safe country. It is a beautiful country because it has a lot of beautiful and many other things that we should highlight. But safety is not one of those.
Okay. Okay. And What about fitness and nutrition? Any news regarding that?
Fitness and nutrition. Well, I don't know if this is a new, but fitness and nutrition are like the daily bread to us. Well, not for all people, but for most of the people, because nowadays we all want to get fitness, we all want to uh, get healthier, we all want to be well fed. So it is an important trend.
And what's the status of COVID-19?
COVID-19.
Hmm.
Well, around the world, I have heard that many new peaks are rising again. And here in Colombia, we just have passed the third peak.
Okay.
But authorities have told us that probably in October, we would have a fourth peak. So yeah, I don't know, we have to take care a lot. We have to take care of us a lot.
Okay. So you are vaccinated?
Yeah, I am. Thank God I am.
Okay. Okay then. Right. Enough for today.
Okay, how do you see my speaking?
You need more time for speaking. That is why in the beginning I told you to come twice, right? But anyway, we will do more speaking from tomorrow, right?
Okay.
Speaking and writing are the major issues.
Mhm.
Writing more creative, speaking too, same thing, more information, right?
Okay.
Okay.
Okay, I will have
Right.
to work on that because I am.
I'm giving you more documents, right? Read the documents, go through the
Okay.
documents. Okay, you would get many answers. Read the news. 24 by 7 inside the home. The only language to be spoken is English, no Spanish.
Okay.
Okay, until the exams are over and the admissions are done.
Yeah.
Forget your native tongue. It's not an option anymore, right?
Yeah.
Because
Yeah,
there's
I know.
not enough time, right? September is ending. There's only October in between. After that,
Okay.
November starts. 24 by
Yeah.
7, listen to English music, right? Watch English
Mm-hmm.
movies.
Yeah.
BBC, CNN should 24 by 7 keep on running inside the home,
Okay.
right? Is there anyone to
Okay.
practice with at home? Even if it is wrong practice, doesn't matter.
Yeah, my husband. I can practice with him.
Keep on practicing 24 by 7. Even with your son, he would also benefit because Spanish he won't forget that he has been
Mm-hmm.
from a decade. Okay, but his
Yeah.
English would also improve. Right or wrong doesn't matter. Just keep on talking. Okay.
Okay. Okay.
Stand in front of the mirror, read a book, read a newspaper. It would boost your confidence. You can even record your voice and send me. Okay.
Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay. I will do that.
Okay. Hmm.
Okay.
And night there are some people who come for speaking. I thought if you could also come, but then you're busy because it's your mornings office and all that.
Yeah.
So
Yeah. But I will do the audios. I think it's easier for me to record an audio and send it to you.
and stand in front of the mirror and read,
Mm-hmm.
read a book
Yeah.
or speak on any topic. It would boost your confidence. Okay,
Mm-hmm.
boost your
Okay.
confidence. If there is no one, talk to yourself.
Yeah.
The audio with more confidence and read on different topics. You would get more
Mm-hmm.
ideas. I would send more documents. Did you go through the speaking documents I sent you?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. This morning I was watching them.
I would send a very important one. So go through that. That's a big document anyway. In one day, you
Mm-hmm.
won't be able to go through it. Right.
Okay.
Time. Okay. If you can take out printouts, do some binding, spiral binding, make it a book, make them kind of a book. So 24/7 you can revise, keep on reading the topics. Okay, take out printouts.
Okay.
Okay, so
Okay. So
that
as for today, as
you have a
I
right.
mean,
You
at
have
this point,
yeah,
yeah, at
yeah.
this
You have a
point,
reading.
as for today, do you, I mean, if you were my examiner, um, how would you score me?
Today I would say the speaking is 6.
Okay.
Okay, we need to push it. We need to kick it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, we need to boost it.
Okay.
Hmm.
Speaking 6, listening, well, on my
Listening,
exercises.
obviously, listening is going good, right? You are above 7, but do better. Okay,
Uh-huh.
better.
Yeah.
Reading, speaking, writing. These are 3
Yeah.
on which you have to focus a bit more. But that doesn't mean that we remove our focus from the hearing section.
Yeah.
Also, because that is a strength. The strength should become more strong,
Mm-hmm.
and the ones which are a bit weak, I won't say very weak, a bit weak, we have to push them, right? Push them
Okay.
more. Okay. So read
Okay.
the documents that I'm sending you. Do the writing, reading. Okay.
Sure.
Okay.
Well, my dear teacher, I have to say goodbye. Thank you very
Yeah.
much.
Good night. Okay. So bye for today. Thank you so much.
Thank
Okay.
you.
Tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Take care.